Hi, I'm John Kelly, Executive Vice President with ACS, a Xerox company, and we're here at our annual Thought Leadership Conference at Disney in Orlando, Florida. We're joined here by some distinguished guests and many of our clients here to talk about a topic of great interest to many of our customers, and that's security. I'm joined here today by General Michael Hayden. Michael is here to speak about security based upon his vast experience as a general in the Air Force, as head of the National Security Agency, and most recently as the head of Central Intelligence for the U.S. So General, we're hearing a lot from our clients about the whole concept of moving more and more of our computing, of our information, into more flexible, more centralized capabilities that come under the overall kind of rubric of cloud computing. As clients look at cloud computing, what can you say to them, or what kind of advice could you give them about the security aspects of that?
Sure. John, look, I understand why your clients are moving to the cloud. Efficiency, economies of scale. Yeah. It's a wonderful offering. But if we're not careful, moving to the cloud is going to create the same kinds of problems we saw moving to the net did 10, 15, and 20 years ago. Look at the problem this way. Things I used to keep in my safe at home are now on my hard drive. And in a few weeks or months or maybe a slightly longer period of time, they're going to be in something called the cloud. And now I've got to wonder how secure are those things that I felt were important enough to keep in my safe just a few months or years ago. So we need to make sure as we move to the cloud, as we harvest all these wonderful efficiencies, these economies, that we also pay due attention to security. We didn't do that when we moved to the net in the first place. We're getting a do-over. This is kind of a mulligan for us. So we need to hit this ball really well.
And do you see from your experience both in government and outside of government that these kinds of systems are targeted for attack any more so than traditional behind the firewall centralized?
Well, here's systems. The thought process, all right? The web that we've created is inherently insecure. It wasn't built for security. It was built for the easy, facile, and quick movement of data between, if you look at the history of the net, you go all the way back to ARPANET. This is a network that's engineered, all right, to move data between a limited number of nodes, all of whom are known and all of whom are trusted.
Right.
That remains the organizing, the technological principle of today's internet, with a near infinite number of nodes, many of whom are not known, and a lot of whom don't deserve to be trusted. Right? So the current net, as we have it, might actually be impossible to secure to the level you and I would feel comfortable. We get a chance to do it one more time as we move to the cloud. So we need to be careful.
And then when you add to that the increasing use of mobile devices, social media, you have a lot of information generation and access being generated at the edge. Those are places that historically, we haven't had a lot of centralized control or management of procedure and policy and process. So that adds a whole nother level of complexity to securing this thing called the cloud.
Absolutely. I mean, the concept of convergence takes whatever it is I do on this, all right, which might not be as careful as how I work on my home computer, but unfortunately this is connected to my home computer.
Right.
So whatever I do here, whatever app I accept, whatever malware I import, now because of convergence, gets mated up with the rest of the network. And you asked me earlier about whether the cloud is a bigger target or better target. The current net just invites attacks. We stand a good chance that the cloud might actually be a bit more secure. But if it's only a little bit more secure, it also offers an incredibly lucrative target, because if you crack that security, you're suddenly into the mother lode.
Into the mother lode, right. So you're really saying it requires some kind of rethinking a little bit of the security architecture.
Absolutely. Look, people who know a lot more about this than I do believe that the current network is inherently unsecurable. The cloud is one of those major muscle movements that might give us the opportunity to create something that's got security baked in from the beginning. Look, one of the language betrays our thinking. Why is it we call our security things patches? It's because they're added on later.
Yes, that's right.
Now we have a chance to bake them in at the beginning.
Right. Good. So to summarize, you would see the great opportunity of forwards also provides some risk, but if we use it as an opportunity
Yes.
to rethink it and actually
Yes.
say, get it right from the start,
Exactly.
its promise really can be fulfilled.
It is, and that means you've got to go to the people who provide cloud services,
Right.
cloud access. You've got to go to them and use security as a discriminator. Ease of use, efficiencies, economies of scale, they're all out there. We'll all hug them, we'll all love them, we'll think they're great. But if we just pause for a moment and say, but which of those multiple offerings out there actually is using security to distinguish itself from the other offerings? That's a plus.
So you're saying your cloud service provider, whoever that is, that's something that you'd want to know more about. You would want to see what they're bringing to the party in terms of
now, let me
original
give
thinking.
you the good news, all right? There are some things that I won't do at home. Remember I told you it used to be in my safe, now it's on my hard drive? There are some things I won't do because it's just too expensive, it's just too complicated. I got no efficiencies, no economies of scale. Who's offering that? Who's offering that high-end security that I can't offer myself at home, but they can offer in the cloud because they're amortizing that cost over hundreds, if not thousands of users. That's
Excellent.
a competitive advantage.
Great. Well, General, thank you very much for that, I think,
thank
very,
you.
very penetrating insight. It's all the hot topic here at our Thought Leadership
yeah.
Conference, so I appreciate you coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, General.
Thank you.